everyone. It is Monday, September 26, 2022. And if it's a Monday, you know what that means. Recap show. Woo! My name is Kim Lantis, and it's my pleasure to recap last week's Dojo Live shows along with
America Guerrero.
Yes, that's right. Awesome. So last week we did get a bit of a break on Thursday, but we did have two shows on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Right? We kicked the week off with Ethan Lieber, CEO at Lachel, I think it's called.
Lachel.
No, it's not Lachel. It's Lachel. It's
Lachel.
like satchel. I remember that now. Lachel. And
Lachel.
he was talking all about customer-obsessed philosophy, being a multi-partnered space, and how to basically accomplish that, even if there appears to be kind of competing interests. Second up was Joe Miller, general manager at Pocket Talk, all about communication in a global world. And that was a really fun conversation. So let's start off with Ethan. So that was a Dojo Live first of having to wrap up the show early due to fire alarms. But hey, you know, part of the fallout of having a live show, it works. It's fun. Beyond that, Ethan's show was great. What did you take away from that one, America?
Well, that company, they are the only maintaining coordinators with patent pending technology. They use automation that improves clients' accuracy and ability to help tendons emergency issues fast. So it was really interesting because he never imagined that he would be in this property management space, and now he's helping to solve this problem with
technology.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun. And I think a part of the elements of age sort of came up, him being young, more in the tech space, and then just sort of having this kind of stumble into his lap, you know, reaching out like, hey, you're project manager, help me manage this with his co-founder. And it's quite a fun story. And yeah, in that multi-partner space, as you laid out, property management. So they're talking about, of course, the property owners, the renters, right? And then as well as service areas, plumbers and whatever else. And so it's a really great way to have a very quick response and, you know, more effective, more economical response when something arises, right? And it's just a great way to kind of keep that customer obsession on all three fronts. What I thought was really interesting in his sort of feedback, I think, for any business owner is when customer obsession is a must, but when you're working in a multi-partner space, now his expertise is of course in property management, but I think this kind of applies to any multi-partner space, is where you have to figure out the minimum viable for, you know, some partners, and really have to focus on who you have to be most obsessed with. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you need to have a balance, right?
Yes. And in this case, it's with the property, you know, the property owner side, right? Because ultimately that's the person or individual or entity that is investing into their product. But everyone gets to benefit from it. And I think it's just a smart use. And I'm really also intrigued just by the user side, right? Where a lot of the people that are using his technology are perhaps less tech knowledgeable, right? And so the way that they have to work around that as well. It's a really fun show. So then on Wednesday, we were able to talk to Joe Miller, general manager at Pocket Talk, all about how can language technology help us in a rapidly changing world. What were your takeaways from this show, America?
I love the show. They provide a multi-sensory two-way translation device. So it's like this size. And what I really liked,
a pocket-sized translator, a cell phone-sized translator.
Exactly. And I love the responsibility that is behind creating this kind of devices. For example, you can use it for businesses or education purposes. But when you're talking about, for example, if you're at a hospital and you're a patient that you don't speak English and then you don't know how to communicate, you have this, you're struggling and you just want to feel better, you have this device that helps you right away in real time with translation, and it's great, and there are other examples that you can watch during the show.
Yeah, I mean, the device itself is super intuitive, super easy. I think what's really cool about this is it can, I think, have Wi-Fi functionalities, but they also just work off of a card, so you're able to use this translation device no matter where you are, and if you have connectivity or not, which I think is great. And you know, the story behind it was interesting because I think originally the push behind the product for a translator was in the travel industry, right? Business travel. But it became so much more than that. Education, healthcare, as you mentioned. And we really tapped on to I think more than the tech side, the humanity side of what this means, and just the ability to tap into potential and create meaningful relationships and communication with people who you might not have been able to do so, at least so effectively or so quickly or so soon otherwise. And I think it's just a really beautiful sentiment, a really great piece of technology, an affordable piece of technology. I think the devices come in under around $200. And when you compare that to maybe what you'd be paying out of like a professional translating service, so close to that probably per hour. Like, so basically you get your return on investment like in a day. But I mean, and it's just a great little piece of tech. So beautiful story there. Do check out Pocket Talk. Now, what do we have this week? It is a full week with 3 shows, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right here in Dojo Live at 10 a.m. Pacific. Kicking us off will be
with, I'm hoping that I will say this correctly.
That's like that's our disclaimer always.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But we will find out tomorrow because we're going to have an interview with Rudravid Mitra, CEO at Omdina. And the topic is going to be about building AI for the people by the people. Mm-hmm. That is going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have another show with Joel King Kasser, founder and chief scientist at CAD Labs Foundation. The topic is diversity, equity, and inclusion in Web3 and Web2. And then finally on Thursday, we're going to have Stephanie Cox at Lumabay. And the topic is going to be about, I have it right here, mobile messaging, the untapped marketing channel that drives incredible results. 10 a.m. Pacific, the
Yes. So AI themes, and then going back to the mobile messaging, which I'm interested about that one because it seems that we've in some ways moved back to that or away from that. So it's interesting to see the perspective of moving back to mobile messaging. So it'll be a good show. Don't miss it. We look forward to conversing with tech leaders from around the globe and with our audience. If you do have questions on those days, let us know. We'll ask that live question. And of course, if you really, really like a show, don't forget that you can join us right here on our recap show. We'd love to have you. You can find that on the Contact Us page of dojo.live. All right. See you tomorrow, everyone.
Bye.